Have you made some bad sock choices in the past? You're trying to do something about it? Well, you have a friend in me. Crazy socks are easy to overdo. They can send small children screaming, old ladies crying, and your mother wishing she had a dog. But as we'll discover, there are levels to craziness, and we'll break them down, and we'll see the pitfalls to avoid so that you can pull off the crazy sock look successfully with the suit. Caller ID. This is how to do crazy socks right. But first, the problem with crazy socks. And what is the biggest problem? They prey on your ignorance. It is so overlooked, this bottom half, that when guys get socks and they see what's out there, I mean, tell me, what stands out more, this or that? You're going to pick socks for your ensemble, department stores, and you see these offerings. The classics are undersold, and the wild socks are oversaturating the market. Well, you go, well, I don't want to be boring, and of course you don't. But you also have to keep in mind, it is as much them as it is you. You see, these manufacturers make these crazy novelty patterns, and some are more egregious than others, and they can be cute and fun, but they're extremely memorable. And so often they cheapen and demature your look, make you look juvenile, make you look young and not in a good way. So crazy socks are memorable and they're fleeting. You could make the argument that the trend of crazy socks has already passed. They had their heyday circa 2018, and when the pandemic struck, it was somewhat of a death of crazy socks. And well, all socks in general, because we weren't going out as much. You could only see this half. So why put on socks? So you could say that the fad of crazy socks is ending, or has already ended. But there is a way to transcend the trends and do crazy socks without having to be ridiculous. But first, to bring you back down to earth, these are the 4 phases, and we'll put this on a meter, the crazy meter, and build up from there, okay? So phase 1 with socks, and this is just best practice, you match the pants color. Or if you can't match it 1-to-1, then you go a shade darker, so as not to draw attention to the area. And there's great logic here. It makes your leg look longer, if that's an issue for you. Of course, matches the suit, and it stays true to the overall harmony of your outfit. It's just a good look. But you might say to me, Dr. Necktie, I'm 6'9", and I don't care about matching my socks with my pants. I want to be wild and reckless. Well, I would ask you, are you Jordan Clarkson? Sharpshooter for the He certainly fits that bill. And okay, you might not be Jordan Clarkson, but you want to spruce things up a little bit. Here's phase 2. Find a comparable color value to your suit. So it doesn't have to match, but think if you have navy, find gray. Or if you've got gray, find a navy sock. And with either color or any color, usually a darker pants color, if you find something that's of a similar value, a burgundy or a hunter green or whatever you want, it's a way to stay within the rules, but break them just a little bit. It won't draw any undue attention to the area, and it can be a nice way to just not have to worry about that hard and fast rule of finding a match, because finding a match is difficult. The colors, there's so many different shades of all different colors that getting a sock to pants match 1-to-1 is almost too much to ask. Turn those purist sock ideologies on their head. And how to make sure that you've got something that's a comparable value. Now, I'm talking about color value here. Do the black and white camera test. Take your smartphone, take a picture of the sock next to the trouser, and then turn the picture in black and white. Desaturate it completely. Don't add any extra contrast or anything, but just study the value. And if, in black and white, the sock and the pant leg look like they could be the same color, you pass. You found a sock that can live within phase 2. But what if you want to step it up a notch? Crank it up to phase 3. This is where we're getting into the crazy sock territory. This is where I live, and this is where I like to have fun. When you're ready to leave the realm of convention, take a color that you are wearing in the tie or in the pocket square, one of your accessories, and extrapolate it with the sock. So you can find a sock that's a brighter color and work it in. So a brighter color or an interesting pattern with bright colors in it can be crazy in its own right. It might not fit the definition of crazy socks that we were talking about at the outset. These are certainly crazy. So find a striking color you like, but this is the important part. Listen up. Strategize it with ties that you already have. So for instance, I got this sock because I've got this tie with fuchsia medallions that I could choose to highlight. Or I've got this fuchsia tie and I could match those together for an even bolder look. So whether you match with a minor color in the tie or a major color, make sure the sock is something that you do have some mileage, that you can get some mileage out of. Find a sock that works in your rotation. And then phase 4, this is where we're getting crazy, but doing it right. Make the sock a statement piece with a wild pattern, but leave the rest of the outfit simple. So here you could go just about as wild as you want in the sock because the rest of you is sober up here. It's low key. It won't detract from the sock if the sock is what you want to draw the most attention to. So find a neat pattern. Find some interesting geometry that you don't often see. Combine that with some bright colors. And then just keep it solid up here. The classic suits, the solid shirts, a solid tie or a very subtle pattern, and let the sock do the talking. Before you go out and buy a bunch of crazy socks, I need to tell you something. Doing wild sock colors is extreme and should not be done too often. And it's hard to pull off, but now that you know some principles and you can work within this little meter of craziness, you're equipped to do just fine. Just everything in moderation. I want you to ask yourself 2 questions before you buy a crazy sock. Ask yourself, do I have enough more basic socks to satisfy my rotation that I can work in? And 2, will I like owning these socks in 5 years? I got these crazy socks in the heyday, 2018, and now just about 5 years have gone by as of this recording. And some of these socks I regret because I just don't wear them. They're taking up space in my drawer. So this is a consumer thing that just goes beyond crazy socks. Really think about your purchases. Think about what you're doing. Am I going to like this? I want you to really deliberate on these questions. Think about them before you make those purchases of those fun, cute, crazy, wild socks. Who knows? You might avoid a bad purchase and save some money. Right, Woody?
What? What are you talking about?